we've given over $500,000 in grants to Black businesses throughout Miami-Dade County.
That's fantastic.
And it's a variety of businesses. You know, it could be a restaurant, it can be, I think it was a chiropractor office, some artists, different, whatever your business is.
Yeah.
You know, you apply, you go through a process, a vetting process, and you may be granted. We want to make sure that people know we exist, we're here, and we're here to serve you, where we're specifically here for the Black community and for the empowerment and the prosperity of the community.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Yo, what up, D Hustle?
What's going on?
Guess where we still at, player?
South Beach.
South Beach? No. Come on, man. We're a little far from South Beach.
All right.
Yeah. But we're in South Florida.
Miami.
Florida. We are at the Black Wealth Summit. And I got a special guest here.
Who we got?
First of all, a big shout outs to FMU, the only historical black college in South Florida. Big shout outs to FMU for hosting us here. And big shout outs to Source and all the sponsors here. Let's get a round of applause for Chandra coming to the stage. So give us a quick introduction. Tell us your name and tell us a little bit about you.
So thank you, gentlemen, for having me. My name is Shandra Daniels. I'm the Deputy Director at Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust. Many people know us as MDEAT. However, you know, we like to make sure everybody knows exactly who we are. We're the Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I just seen her on stage, and when she came off stage, I was in the cut, and I was like, "You did an amazing job." And she's like, "Did I? I was so nervous." Now, you wasn't nervous, were you? A little bit?
Just a little. But when I'm up there, it's like I'm on. So.
Yeah, exactly, right? So tell us a little bit about the topic that you covered, and definitely your contributions to this event that we're having this Saturday.
Well, we're one of the sponsors for Black Wealth Summit. You know, our entire, mission is building prosperity, economic prosperity in the Black community.
Yeah.
You know, making sure that our Black residents are actively participating, that they're fully participating in their own prosperity and in that of Dade County.
Yeah.
So we have the 4 pillars that I spoke about earlier, that we basically stand on. My boss, Bill Diggs, who couldn't be here today. However,
big shout outs to him.
Big shout out. Love Bill. I love Bill. You know, he called it a 4-legged stool.
Yeah.
But those pillars that we stand on for Black economic empowerment, our economic development department.
Yeah.
They give. We've given over $500,000 in grants to Black businesses throughout Miami-Dade County.
That's fantastic.
And it's a variety of businesses. It could be a restaurant, it can be, I think it was a chiropractor office, some artists, different, whatever your business is.
Yeah.
You know, you apply, you go through a process, a vetting process, and you may be granted, up to sometimes, I think one year we did like $15,000, $20,000. What we do have coming up on March 6th is our pitch competition.
Ooh, I love pitch competitions.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's on March 6th at the Beacon Council from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., where we are granting whoever those winners are, bless them.
Bless them.
The top award is $15,000, $10,000, and $5,000.
That's what's up.
So, and that is to help people scale and expand their businesses, because sometimes, I remember one of our awardees, previous awardees, she was able to buy some equipment that helped her get more customers, And so we're always looking for different ways to help our community.
Yeah, 100%. Now, a big round of applause for that, because I think a lot of people don't really realize like who's around them looking to support you, right? I think we had Brian from Light Capital Investment. Talking about making investments or being a VC firm, but that's not the only way to get financing and support around an idea that you have. And keeping it local, let me tell you, is so inspiring, because us business owners, because I'm a business, this is a business right here, right? We have challenges, right? We have challenges. First of all, making sure that we're building a product or a service that really aligns with our customers. But even more so when you're a local business, it's even more difficult, right? Because advertising dollars, storefronts, location, all of these things just become so overwhelming that you need organizations like you all to really help support. And I know you all are going to look for the right ones, right?
Absolutely. And it is so important for you to exist. The tech hustle, your podcast, your platform to be here, because a lot of times we run into some folks and they say, oh, we didn't know about you. And I'm like, we've been around for 40 years.
Wow.
It may have, it used to be, it had a previous name, MMAP for those people who were here, 20, 30, 40 years ago. But we're still the same organization. So we want to make sure that people know we exist, we're here, and we're here to serve you. We are here. I think it's probably the only department in the county, and probably maybe in the country. I might be over. I might be reaching on that one.
But brush your shoulders off. It's all right.
That is of our kind, where we are specifically here for the Black community, and for the empowerment and the prosperity of the community. Because one of our other programs that home ownership is the cornerstone of wealth.
For sure.
In this country, really. Through our housing program, our housing assistance program, we call it HAP. What we do there is we help with down payment assistance. It's not first-time home buyer. Yeah. It's just down payment assistance because, as you know, a house that, as they talked about earlier today, a house that was $200,000 maybe 4 years ago is now every bit of $600,000 to $700,000.
Facts.
And we help a certain demographic. However, if we help let's say, because most people say, well, you have to have a low income and, these different criteria. Not necessarily. Not necessarily, because sometimes some people make $80,000, $90,000, $100,000. And guess what? In Miami-Dade County, everybody needs a little help with some down payment assistance, because before you were able to save and you were able to take care of it. The down payment now for a $600,000 house is just ridiculous.
Yeah. Is it 20%, you think?
Well, I know it was it's between 20 and 30, and of course, there's always the interest rates and different things like that. So in our department, you can get up to $28,000, to help with closing costs, and a variety of things. But I know closing costs was always one of the biggest issues the obstacles that people face, because they're like, oh, I got to keep saving all these years, and it's like, you know what? And here's the beautiful part about it. It's a forgivable loan. So if you stay in the home for 20 years, it is your primary residence. You do not refinance it or transfer ownership or anything like that. It's your home. And you're there as your primary residence. At the end of those 20 years, the loan is forgiven. Wow. Meaning you don't have to pay it back. Yeah. You do not have to pay it back. It is no interest. You're not paying anything every month, because everybody goes, okay, so how do I pay this back? You're not paying it back. Yeah. It's forgivable.
It's forgivable.
I'm like this. We're invested just like you are. Yeah. So we give you this $28,000 for your closing costs. You basically live in this home. This is your primary residence. If you buy a home, I'm assuming you plan on staying there.
Yeah, for sure, right? Yeah. Nowadays, you better hold.
You're not going to try to flip the house or something like that, And then from there, at the end of those 20 years, that has been satisfied. That forgivable has been satisfied, and that's it. And we're sending out letters like almost every day to people who have satisfied. Their loan has been satisfied, to let them know you're clean and clear with us. Wow. And that's it.
Well, that proves you all being in business for that long in terms of just the contributions you make. But the key thing here is that access is what you all are giving, right? Yes. Access to that long in terms of property ownership, but that property ownership developing into wealth and the family and being passed on and things like that. Yes. But then we're keeping it in our community.
Yes. And with keeping it in our community, I'm glad you said that, because I just remember something else. We also have a rehabilitation assistance program. So this program is for folks who already own their home, but they may need some repairs that, who has $30,000 to $40,000 to fix the roof. Right. Yeah. Nobody.
Or $6,000 out of nowhere to go paint the house.
When there's so many different things that you have to, you spread so many different ways. So through our program, the Rehabilitation Assistance Program, what we call RAP, it's an acronym, another forgivable loan up to $50,000 in repairs to your home. We focus on, of course, first the life, health, safety issues in your home. You know, like if your roof needs repair.
Yeah.
Okay, but you want your bathroom done. We're going to take care of that roof first.
Not the bathroom, not the jacuzzi size yet.
We're not doing that. You know, but, you know, a lot of times people can't get insurance because of the house is in disrepair or, you know, plumbing issues, electricity. You know, we have a lot of senior citizens that have been owning their homes for many years, and the home is just, you know, it's falling apart.
Yeah.
You know, we were able to come in and say we had some clients who we had to build a ramp because now they're at an age where they can't walk up those stairs or run up those stairs like they used to.
Yeah.
Outfit their bathroom, you know, would make it handicap accessible. So there are many ways that, you know, this program can help. And the same way, you know, for that forgivable loan is 15 years. After 15, you don't have to pay it back. If you, of course, you know, you remain in this home for the 15 years. And, you know, at the end of that 15 years, guess what? We send you a letter. You clean and clear. You don't owe us anything. I don't know what else you owe, but you don't owe us anything.
Yeah. I can't imagine those letters. I'd be like, yo, can I get more of these letters? But no, these programs, and this is the thing is like a lot of people just don't know about it. Right?
Correct.
And this is why the podcast, these type of events like at the Black Wealth Summit here at FMU really just gives our community some insights.
Yes.
Because I feel like it's always like this feeling like, oh, nobody's there to say help. And it's like, no, the help is there. You're just not looking for it. And or these are the things that you need to be, you know, set in stone and or put in the right position so that you can access it. Because our communities are really being affected by us not being able to keep up with things.
Yes.
And that's why I feel like organizations like yours are there to help support us and keep our communities in our hands, because they easily, especially here in Florida with real estate, they're buying up everything.
I got a question. I'm sorry to interject here. So let's say you're in that program right now and you have to do the roof. Is that a separate program from the original one?
So there are two programs that I spoke about. One is for down payment assistance. And then there is, as a part of that division, there is the rehabilitation assistance. And the rehabilitation assistance, you can send us your wish list of things that need to be repaired. Now, we're not talking about cosmetic stuff. But, you know, we're talking about some serious stuff here, you know.
Like you have to do the roof.
Yes, you do the roof, and you send in your application and all the information and requirements that we're asking you to do, because that's the main thing. Folks, what we ask you to send in, send it. Right. Don't send us what you want us to have. Send us what we ask for.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Because you don't want to delay the process.
Correct.
You know, you don't want to delay the process because, you know, because at this point we have more demand than supply. Yeah. Because the program, for RAP, Rehabilitation Assistance Program, has been around for about 2 years once, you know, our executive director, Bill Diggs, implemented it. And now we have more demand and supply because, you know, for people seeing someone else's house get done, they're like, well, how did you do that? You know, how did you do so? It's word of mouth. It spreads like that. But to your point, BobbyD, again, your platform is so important to spread this information. And I guess we also need to figure out another way to just how do we get folks to know that we're here? Yeah. Because, you know, now that I think about it, you know, how did they do it, say, for the civil rights movement? Yeah. And they didn't have podcasts. Facts. And they didn't have access to television, you know, to the news studios, because there wasn't nobody letting them in there saying, hey, it's going to be a movement in which about 250,000 of us going to Washington. Yeah. You know, they weren't allowed on television to do something like that. So it's like, here we are, and it's like we have all of these things available to us, and yet people are still saying they don't know something. They don't have any knowledge of it. So it's like, how do we become a household name? Yeah. You know, I want our department to have that same recognition, if nothing else, as, say, when you hear NAACP, you know who they are immediately. Right. Yeah. You know, and of course, they've been around for about 100 years. But I want that same kind of, you hear MD, oh, those are the people that can actually assist us with our homes, or, you know, our youth services program, our teen court program, or our economic development, where we're giving grants to help people get their businesses, scale up their businesses.
Yeah. So that Man, I'm so grateful y'all get a chance. Drop the gym button to hear the impact that we have in terms of organizations right here in South Florida that can help create that pathway to generational wealth, but also the support you need to get out of either it's a hole or you're just not like, this is what these organizations are around here for, and we definitely really appreciate you. Now, one thing that I do want to inquire, especially about the entrepreneur side and the business development, what has been one of the things that the funds that have been, allocated to those businesses, what have they used them mostly for?
They've used them for, like, say, equipment, inventory, not food or anything like that. We do have certain,
requirements.
Requirements. But mostly, say some people, they had, say, that old school cash register where they would press on the button. Like, cha-ching! Pull the button down. Now they have Square, and they have,
digitized.
Yes, they're absolutely more digitized. They are current. Some people actually were able to, say, become more educated through financial literacy and go to certain workshops.
Oh my gosh.
Or certain programs.
Yeah.
We also work with the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. It's the Black Chamber pretty much. And we partner with them, and they have an excellent program where, say, for instance, when our applicants are applying for the grant, we have some resources and some folks that we work with that can actually help you through this application process to possibly make it happen for you where you actually get a grant.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different things that it can be used for, but what definitely to scale up that business is to scale up your business.
100%. And the reason why I'm asking is like when people are like, all right, so I might need support, but what am I going to use it for, right? And it's really just helping closing that gap so you can continue to stay in business, develop, and also innovate, right? Or get access to, instead of the old cash register, to the new digitized, and now you're digitizing all your products, and now you're getting better reporting, you're getting better data.
Absolutely.
You're able to move faster, and like it's these gaps that we're closing to allow us to continue to move forward, or we're going to be left behind.
Yes, and with that, and that's why we have those resources like the Miami-Dade Chamber and different folks that we work with, because one of the things that, again, people have a great idea and they've started the business. Now they just need to know what to do at this point. And they receive that hand-holding that's needed sometimes to get them to the next level. Right. And once they have it, they take off.
Facts.
They take off.
Right.
It's like, I just needed a little push. Got, they're like, I got it from here. I just need a little push.
Awesome.
Also,
go ahead, D.
For our listeners, how can I get in contact with you?
So you can get in contact with the Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust. You can call us at 305-375-5661.
Ooh, look at that.
I was like, we have like 30 lines, so I'm like, which one?
Yeah.
You can also reach us on the website, miamidade.gov/M as in Mary, DEAT. So that's miamidade.gov/MDEAT. And you can please follow us on Instagram. We want you to follow us on Instagram at MDEATinfo. So we look forward to gaining more followers after this podcast.
Yeah. Y'all already know we got about that. Look in the comments, descriptions below. Y'all going to see all the information.
Because that's where you can definitely keep, you can follow us and keep up with what we're doing, what's available to you. Because again, like I said, the next thing that we have coming up next week, in a few days, as a matter of fact, 5 days is our project pitch competition, where people are going to be competing for some dollars to help their businesses.
Yo, we've been bringing in people that's writing checks all day, player. Like, this is the perfect opportunity, right? And let me first of all say thank you so much, Shandra, for pulling up and giving us some information. And you audience, please click on the links below, follow, get involved, find out about your community, especially if you're not only here in South Florida, because we do it a little different down here, but it's not that different because there are all services that are available in your areas too. So, but just do the research and definitely reach out. But other than that, cue up the music, player. Let's see what you got, the music running. So, Shandra, thank you so much for pulling up the Backstage with BobbyD. You enjoy yourself?
Oh,
yeah,
love it.
Oh, we've been making a real
you gotta
cool
have me back. You gotta have me back, and we have to have you on our podcast.
Oh yeah,
Black Prosperity Podcast.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Absolutely.
Before we cut off, any last words for the audience members?
Everyone, please do yourself a service. Come check us out, like I said, on our different platforms. Even if it's something that you are not ready to do, like say with home ownership, we need our black folks to own some homes.
Facts.
And we don't want to keep giving our houses away because, again, through our rehabilitation program, we are increasing the value of the home, with those repairs. We need you to buy some homes, keep these homes, and we're here to assist you with it. And I just hope that you take advantage of everything that we have to offer. And we are the Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust.
Oh, they on these streets. Big shout outs to her. And thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you heard that we are here at the Black Wealth Summit, holding it down, and we're going to have another guest come through, so I hope you stay tuned to us. Thank you so much. Holla at your boy. It's BobbyD.